The political and media landscape has erupted with reactions following the appointment of the new White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt. Discussions surrounding her role, qualifications, and impact have taken center stage, fueling intense debates across news networks and social media platforms.
These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right, ABC should wake up.
Some analysts suggest her appointment reflects a strategic move by the administration, while others view it as a new direction in White House communications. Regardless of the perspective, one thing is certain: her presence is making waves. Meanwhile, the daytime television world has been rocked by an unexpected controversy. Veteran talk show host Joy Behar has officially exited The View, marking a major shakeup for the long-running daytime program.
White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt. Here is Whoopi Goldberg saying she only got the job due to wokeness.
What? I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
No, Whoopi. Corinne Jean-Pierre got the job because of wokeness. You and your old mate Joy Behar may have your jobs because of wokeness, but do not smear a competent professional woman like Karoline Leavitt with your nonsense, and don't lie about this being her first job. We know what you're doing there.
Her departure follows a wave of backlash, lawsuits, and online discourse, leading many to speculate about the circumstances behind this sudden exit. What could have possibly led to the departure of one of the most outspoken figures in television? This story is packed with controversy, irony, and plenty of speculation.
And I mentioned Joy Behar. Here is Joy objectifying the White House press secretary, saying she only has the job because she's hot.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
The conversation isn't just about a television host leaving a show. It's about the broader cultural and political implications. Let's take a closer look at what really happened, why it has captured so much public attention, and what this means for the future of political commentary and media.
10, but she didn't get the job because of her looks, and anyone who has observed her at a briefing can figure that out for themselves.
What matters to this president and this administration is how well you can do your job, and the American people agree with that sentiment. So it's about competence, skill, and merit. And so the president is focused on ensuring that the most competent individuals, the best and the brightest in this country, are in positions in this federal government.
This controversy began during a recent episode of The View, a show known for its heated debates and outspoken panelists. During a discussion on Karoline Leavitt, the newly appointed White House press secretary, longtime co-host Joy Behar made a remark that immediately sparked reactions. While analyzing Leavitt's appointment, Behar suggested that her selection for the role was influenced by her appearance rather than her qualifications.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
The comment was bizarre, especially coming from Joy Behar, who is as woke as they come and positions herself as a champion of feminism. This online commentator said, disgusting Joy Behar of The View accuses Karoline Leavitt of being hired only because Donald Trump thought she was a 10. Karoline Leavitt actually comes with real job qualifications, unlike Biden's DEI hires, Joyless Behar. This commentator doubled down, saying Karoline Leavitt was only hired by Donald Trump because she's a 10. You know that what it is. Actually, she's quite capable, unlike the last press secretary who was only hired because she was a black.
The statement was met with immediate shock. Audience members audibly reacted, while even some of Behar's fellow co-hosts appeared visibly uncomfortable. Leavitt, at 27 years old, holds the title of the youngest ever White House press secretary. Despite her age, she has built a substantial political resume, including serving as a communications director for high-profile Republican campaigns and working within the Trump administration during his first term.
the president on the legality of telling government agencies that they don't have to spend money that was already appropriated by Congress?
Well, as the OMB memo states, this is certainly within the confines of the law. So White House counsel's office believes that this is within the president's power to do it, and therefore he's doing it.
Yet, instead of focusing on her policy experience or strategic communication skills, the discussion shifted toward a personal critique. This moment quickly escalated beyond the studio, igniting a broader debate about media bias, professional credibility, and the treatment of women in politics. Social media platforms immediately reacted, with many questioning whether the comment was appropriate for a serious political discussion. The backlash was swift, and it didn't take long for the conversation to spread beyond entertainment circles into the political sphere. With tensions rising, this situation was no longer just about a single comment. It had become a national conversation. But what happened next? The fallout was just beginning. The reaction to Joy Behar's comments was swift, and it wasn't just from the audience in the studio. It quickly spread far beyond the walls of The View. Co-host Alyssa Farah Griffin, herself a former Trump administration staffer, was quick to push back, clarifying that it wasn't her first job, it was just her first press briefing. The exchange was already tense, but what happened online took things to another level. Social media exploded, with users from all political backgrounds weighing in. Critics pointed out the irony of the statement, especially considering Behar's longtime advocacy for feminism and women's empowerment. One comment circulating online read, "If a Republican had said anything remotely like that, they would be called out instantly." Another added, "Joy Behar just proved once again that The View only supports women who align with their own political beliefs." But the backlash didn't stop there. Karoline Leavitt herself responded decisively, choosing not to issue a simple statement, but to take legal action. Leavitt filed a lawsuit against Behar and ABC, accusing them of defamation and character assassination. According to the legal complaint, Behar's remarks were not only inaccurate, but also damaging, allegedly designed to discredit Leavitt's reputation in the public eye. The lawsuit wasn't just a controversy, it was a significant legal battle that directly challenged one of the most influential voices in daytime television. And for ABC, the network behind The View, this situation was quickly becoming more than just bad press. It was now a legal crisis. But the real question remained. Would this lawsuit change the conversation, or would it fuel an even bigger media firestorm? Behind the scenes, tensions at ABC were reportedly reaching a breaking point. Executives were scrambling to determine how to handle the situation. Should they issue a public apology, suspend Behar, or consider a more drastic measure and cut ties altogether? The controversy had placed the network in a difficult position, with staff members at The View reportedly divided on how to proceed. Some employees rushed to defend Behar, arguing that her remarks were taken out of context. Others, however, quietly acknowledged that the situation had spiraled beyond control. While Behar has faced controversy before, this time the stakes were significantly higher. With a lawsuit pending and intense public backlash, ABC was under enormous pressure to make a decision that would protect its credibility and corporate reputation. Meanwhile, reports began circulating that ABC executives had been holding emergency meetings behind closed doors for days leading up to Behar's departure. Sources from within the network described the atmosphere as tense, with some executives fearing that the lawsuit could escalate into an even larger reputational crisis. Unlike previous controversies surrounding The View, this particular scandal posed legal risks, making the situation uniquely damaging for ABC. The network has long faced criticism for the show's polarizing. ABC would respond, but how far they were willing to go to contain the fallout. A decision had to be made, and fast. The tension at ABC wasn't just felt in the executive offices, it had also divided the staff at The View. Reports suggested that employees had split into two camps, each with strongly opposing views on how the controversy should be handled. Some fiercely defended Behar, arguing that while her comment was inappropriate, the backlash had been blown out of proportion. To them, this was another example of a media personality facing disproportionate scrutiny. Others, however, believed that her remark about Karoline Leavitt had gone too far, especially for someone who had publicly championed women's achievements. One anonymous staff member reportedly told an outlet, "This isn't the first time Joy has put us in hot water, but this time, it feels like there's no way to recover." The staff divide was said to have created a tense workplace environment, with rumors circulating about whether other co-hosts might also face repercussions from the controversy. But beyond the internal turmoil, another issue was gaining traction: ABC's potential liability in the lawsuit. Legal analysts across major news outlets began debating whether Behar's remarks could be legally classified as defamation. Some experts argued that Leavitt's lawsuit had a solid foundation, as public statements made on national television hold significant weight. Others countered that defamation cases involving public figures are notoriously difficult to win, requiring proof of intentional harm. Regardless of the legal outcome, one thing was clear: this was no longer just a network scandal. It had become a legal and media firestorm, and the stakes were only getting higher. While some legal experts believed Karoline Leavitt had a strong case, others suggested she might face challenges proving malice, a key requirement in defamation lawsuits involving public figures. Regardless, the legal battle ahead was expected to be long and contentious, with ABC potentially caught in the crossfire. One expert noted, "Defamation cases involving public figures are difficult to prove. The burden of showing actual malice is incredibly high." Meanwhile, Leavitt remained in the public spotlight, addressing the controversy directly. In an exclusive interview with a conservative media outlet, she stood by her position, calling Behar's comment not only sexist, but deeply unprofessional. She also took the opportunity to highlight her qualifications, listing her experience and accomplishments as proof that her appointment as White House press secretary was based on merit, not appearance. This only further energized her supporters, with many praising her for maintaining composure and standing her ground against what they viewed as a misguided attack. But then came the announcement no one saw coming. ABC officially confirmed that Joy Behar was leaving The View. The timing of the announcement, just days after Leavitt filed her lawsuit, led to widespread speculation that this was not a voluntary departure. While ABC's official statement was vague, it simply stated that Behar had chosen to step away, thanking her for her years of contributions. However, sources within the network claimed that ABC executives had effectively pushed her out, seeing it as a necessary step to protect the show's future. With legal risks, public backlash, and increasing pressure, ABC had made its choice. But the fallout was far from over. Let's be clear, The View has faced controversy before, but this time, the backlash may have been too much to handle. The public reaction to Joy Behar's departure has been deeply divided. Some are celebrating her exit, arguing that it was long overdue. One comment circulating online read, "Maybe they need to cancel ABC Network. That would fix all the problems." Another added, "I can't understand why that show is still on the air, or why it was ever aired in the first place." But on the other hand, longtime viewers of The View are mourning the loss of one of the show's most outspoken voices. They argue that Behar's departure wasn't about accountability, but rather political pressure, claiming that ABC caved to outside influences. Meanwhile, conservative commentators are treating this as a major victory, seeing it as a rare instance of accountability in mainstream media. But beyond the debate, there's one thing many agree on: the irony of it all. For years, Behar positioned herself as a champion of women's rights and empowerment, often criticizing dismissive rhetoric toward women. Yet in one moment, she undermined everything she claimed to stand for. This hypocrisy hasn't gone unnoticed, with many pointing out that her remarks about Karoline Leavitt mirrored the very type of commentary she had condemned for years. So what does this mean for The View? The show now stands at a crossroads. Behar was one of its defining voices, and her absence leaves a significant void. ABC now faces a critical decision. Do they replace her with another outspoken liberal voice? Or do they shift the panel's balance, incorporating a stronger conservative presence? Either way, one thing is clear: The View is now facing an uphill battle to regain public trust and credibility, and the network's next move will determine whether the show adapts or struggles to recover. As for Joy Behar, her future remains uncertain. Will she fight back against the lawsuit, defending her reputation and attempting to clear her name? Or will she step away from the spotlight, leaving behind a legacy as one of the most polarizing figures in daytime television? And what about Karoline Leavitt? Her decision to sue Behar has undoubtedly raised her profile, placing her at the center of a high-stakes legal battle. But will this lawsuit strengthen her credibility, or could it backfire, turning into a prolonged media spectacle? One thing is certain, this drama is far from over. The fallout from Behar's exit and the ongoing lawsuit will likely dominate headlines for weeks, if not months, to come. And with public trust in mainstream media already at an all-time low, this controversy could become a tipping point for The View. Will the show recover, or is this the beginning of the end for one of television's most iconic talk shows? Now it's your turn to weigh in. Did ABC make the right call by letting Joy Behar go, or was she unfairly pushed out? And can The View survive without one of its most infamous hosts? Drop a comment below with your thoughts. And before you go, smash that like button and hit subscribe so you never miss an update on this explosive story. This saga is just getting started, so stay tuned for more twists, turns, and shocking revelations. See you next time.